kings shall hold neither sword nor scepter, and our subjects shall love us in peace, and shall not be in fear of us. Thus spoke Jesus, and unto all the kingdoms of the earth I was blinded, and unto all the cities of the walls and towers, and it was in my heart to follow the Master to his kingdom. Then just at the moment Judas of Iscariot stepped forth, and he walked close up to Jesus, and spoke and said, Behold, the kingdoms of the world are vast, and behold, the cities of David and Solomon shall prevail against the Romans. If you will be the King of Jews, we shall stand beside you with sword and shield, and we shall overcome the alien. But when Jesus heard this, he turned upon Judas and said, his face was filled with wrath, and he spoke in a voice terrible as the thunder of the sky, and he said, Get you behind me, Satan. Think you that I came down the years to rule an anthill for a day? My throne is a throne beyond your vision. Shall he whose wings encircle the earth seek shelter in a nest abandoned and forgotten? Shall the living be honored and exalted by the wearer of shrouds? My kingdom is not of this earth, and my seat is not built upon the skulls of your ancestors. If you seek aught to save the kingdom of the Spirit, then it were better for you to leave me here, and go down to the caves of your dead, where the crowned heads of your hold court in their tombs, and may still be bestowing honors upon the bones of your forefathers. Dare you tempt me with the crown of dross, when my forehead seeks the Pleiades, or else your thorns? Were it not for a dream dreamed by a forgotten race, I would not suffer your sun to rise upon my patience, nor your moon to throw my shadow across your path. Were it not for a mother's desire, I would have stripped me of the swaddling clothes and escaped back to space. And were it not for sorrow in all of you, I would not have stayed to weep. Who are you? What are you, Judas Iscariot? And why do you tempt me? Have you in truth weighed me in the scale, and found me one to lead legions of pygmies, and to direct chariots of the shapeless against an enemy that encamps only in your hatred and marches nowhere but in your fear? Too many are the worms that crawl about my feet, and I will give them no battle. I am weary of the jest, and weary of the pitying the creepers who deem me coward, because I will not move among their guarded walls and towers. Pity it is that I must needs pity to the very end. Would that I could turn my steps toward a larger world where larger men dwell, but how shall I? Your priest and your emperor would have my blood. They shall be satisfied ere I go hence. I would not change the course of the law, and I would not govern folly. Let ignorance reproduce itself until it is weary of its own offspring. Let the blind lead the blind to the pitfall, and let the dead bury the dead till the earth be choked with its own bitter fruit. My kingdom is not of the earth. My kingdom shall be where 2 or 3 of you shall meet in love, and in wonder at the loveliness of life, and in good cheer, and in remembrance of me. Then all of a sudden he turned to Judas, and he said, Get you behind me, man. Your kingdom shall never be in my kingdom. And now it was twilight, and he turned to us and said, Let us go down. The night is upon us. Let us walk in the light, while the light is with us. Then he went down from the hills, and we followed him, and Judas followed afar off. And when we reached the lowland, it was night, and Thomas the son of Diophan said unto him, Master, it is dark now, and we can no longer see the way. If it is in your will, lead us to the lights of yonder village, where we might find meat and shelter. And Jesus answered Thomas, and he said, I have led you to the heights when you were hungry, and I have brought you down to the plains with a greater hunger. But I cannot stay with you this night. I would be alone. Then Simon Peter stepped forth and said, Master, suffer us not to go alone in the dark. Grant that we may stay with you, even here on this byway. The night and the shadows of the night will not linger, and the morning shall soon find us, if you will but stay with us. And Jesus answered, This night the foxes shall have their holes, and the birds of the air their nests. The Son of Man has not nowhere on earth to lay his head. And indeed, I would now be alone. Should you desire me, you will find me again by the lake where I found you. Then we walked away from him with heavy hearts, for it was not in our will to leave him. Many times we stopped to turn our faces toward him, and we saw him in lonely majesty moving westward. The only man among us who did not turn to behold him in his aloneness was Judas Iscariot, and from that day Judas became sullen and distant, and methought there was danger in the sockets of his eyes. That was James, the son of Zebedee.